Assalamu alaikum, my faggots. Yes, Patriots, the red, white, and blue is back. We've been quiet for a few days because we've had some horrific things happen in this world. First and foremost, we would like to extend our heartfelt sympathies to everyone involved. That being said, let's move on to the show. This show is called Stupidity because I don't have another fucking title. Okay? So, now we're going to have this ignorant gun debate. Okay? You got people that shouldn't have a voice. I'm sorry. This is the truth as I see it. There are some people that do not deserve a voice because their voice is not their true voice. It is the voice of somebody else. Basically, what I'm saying, people, is we have too many fucking puppets out there. Okay? You got organizations like the Soros organizations that put their hands right up your ass. And they give you a bullshit promissory note in hopes that you will expand their rhetoric that makes them rich. You want to talk about having no kings. You know, that's just the funniest dumb shit I've ever heard in my life. It's coming from people that also supported you either get a vaccine or you lose your job. Doesn't that sound tyrannical? To them, no. Because at that point in time, they feared that their life was in jeopardy. Do you see where it's going? It is easy. The 1%ers that are out there running off the mouth saying they're the fucking majority and they've got different colored hair and they're trying to stop law enforcement from upholding their sworn fucking duties. Because, I don't give a fuck if you agree with ICE or not. They are law enforcement, okay? They do an extremely important job. Most of what they do, as of the last 20-some years, is stop human trafficking, child trafficking, female trafficking, sex trafficking has been number one on ICE's fucking radar. And you got these stupid fucking people derailing them, putting a car in their path, and then choosing to put that car in drive, and then making another choice of pressing the accelerator. Okay, do you see that? The choice. I know you don't want to be accountable for your actions. I understand that. I understand it. Do you think I want to be accountable and responsible? Fuck no. I would love to do whatever I wanted to do all day, every day, and say fuck everybody if you don't like it. I love it. But I have responsibilities. I have a family that I have to feed. So I get my ass up. I go to work. I do what I need to do to pay the bills. It's simple. And there's millions of Americans that do that every single day. And unfortunately, there are people out there that want to take advantage of a free thought society and try to mold it to where they can maximize the most amount of profits from it. And that's what it comes down to, you ignorant idiots, is fucking money. That paycheck you cashed from whatever fucking bullshit foundation that, these idiots lawyers come up with. Because you're not fighting the system. You're a part of the system. That's what's so fucking hilarious about you idiots that act like you're holier than thou. It is that you act like we're from the 60s and we're fighting the machine. No, you idiots, you wouldn't have made a good pimple on the protesters of the 60s asses. You wouldn't even make a good fucking dingleberry because at least they were standing for something. Okay? They had a clear vision. I'm not saying that their vision was correct. What I'm saying is they actually had something to protest. They were against the war in Vietnam, was what most of them were protesting against. They had a clear, precise plan of how to get out of the war in Vietnam, reasons why they did, and there are a bunch of stuff. Look it up, people. Okay? If we were to go back in time and have the technology we have today, I guarantee you that if we had street interviews back then and a young YouTuber would walk up to him and said, "Oh, I see your sign is we need to pull out of Vietnam. Can you explain to me why?" That young YouTuber would probably have to pull away from him because that protester would have so many facts and so many logical reasons of why they needed to pull out of Vietnam. It would blow their mind. They would not have been looking to their right or their left for someone to tell them what to say because they believed in their cause. I admire that. I admire anybody that stands behind their beliefs. If that's truly what you believe, it's great. But the videos I see are a fucking joke. These are just zombies. They have no thought process. They have no individual thought. They have whatever they read on the bullshit protest signs. And it's gotten so ridiculous. I've actually moved I've had the person that handles my investments move some money over into these sign companies because they're experiencing growth. It's crazy. So I'm going to take advantage of you idiots. I might as well make some fucking money on it. Why not? Everybody else is. Soros's foundation is. You know, all the money that he's paying out for this, I guarantee you, once it comes out, it won't even be the interest that he made on money. So you guys are still making the system money. It's just funny. You know, you go back to and don't get me wrong, you had goofballs back then too. People that were there, you know it. You had some real rocket scientists back then. I mean, some real space kids. But that shows you how absolutely flawed the human species is. We get selfish and we sit there and think we're so fucking great. We're so ahead of this. We're so ahead of that. We're the dominant this and dominant that. And every one of you that think that, I would love to put you in a fucking 10 by 10 room with no fucking weapons, with a fucking grizzly bear, and then tell me how dominant of a species you are. Because that fucking bear will tear your ass apart. There is probably 1 in 1,000 fucking individuals that may be able to beat that bear. But I guarantee you they are not at a fucking protest holding a sign saying no kings. I can guarantee you that. So how the fuck are you the dominant species? Why the fuck should anybody listen to you? You don't understand where we've come from as a people. And there's shows on TV that actually portray several different versions. Okay? And keep in mind, I say versions because most of us were not there during this time. So history was written, and maybe that author was fraudulent, or maybe he embellished, as they did, as authors do. That's why we needed our elders to tell us what happened. Okay? Now, I have never ever said that America is perfect. She is not. She's not. Just like your perfect mate, whatever that may be, does not exist. It is a marketing ploy. Okay? Perfection is an impossibility. And here's why. Find me something that is perfect. Can't, can you? There isn't. There may be a perfect person for that time. There may be a perfect person for that genre. There may be a perfect person for that moment. You understand where I'm going with this? We are flawed not only as a species, but as a society, because we have all the inherent disease called the human mind. And we haven't discovered 100% the depths of that mind. We've had movies try to elaborate on it, and I would love to see if some of what Hollywood has elaborated on is possible. It's one of the things that I have truly, truly dug into as a person is your mind. Now, leading experts, and I'll leave you to have your own definition of experts, say that at best, some of our most smartest individuals like Tesla, Stephen Hawking, all of these great people, all these experts say that these people use 15 to 20% of their mind. Wow. First, the Gen Xer in me questions, okay, what's your test engaging that? Which I still haven't gotten an answer to that. But let's go on those premises. So if we only use at the highest capacity known in human civilization, if we only use 20% of our brain, what can the other 80% do? I have a movie in mind that stars of one of my favorite actors, Mr. Morgan Freeman. The movie's called Lucy. And she ingests a chemical that helps you activate that other 80%. And boy, if that movie's true, wow, the things that we could do. But there's too many things holding us back, such as hatred, jealousy, envy, and ignorance. And I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to get people to see that everything starts within, okay? Everything starts with self, okay? And, everyone's learned this, that hatred is taught. You shouldn't hate anybody. To me, it's just a wasted emotion. It's difficult, the old human psyche, because we feel our brain goes into, well, why can't I have that? Or why, everything. And it's, it comes back to this. Life is not fair. There are people that will go along and follow what we perceive to be right, and they will go through their whole life and not get anything that they truly desire for it. It's not fair. And that's not fair. But that's life. That's how life works. It's not always fair. You don't always get what you want in the world. You don't always get what you deserve. And that's But everybody seems to forget that life is unpredictable. You can't control it. And most of all, it's never going to be fair. So have a great day.